it really was an eye-opener for me because it taught me to look a little bit further, a little bit deeper, you know, and sometimes to shift my perspective. Not only shifting it, you know, my perspective in it was also about shifting my position. You know, if I want to find the greatness in myself, and I really strive for greatness. And I thought about how it could be applied to the resources around me. And I realized that if I really want to bring or create that enabling environment for greatness to emerge in my people, I first need to get to know them. Not just my subordinates, but the wider environment, the staff throughout the division.
When I started the program, I always thought that there was a single and correct and best way of doing things. Being part of the program has allowed me to recognize that many perspectives are available and that you can be on any side, it doesn't matter.
My most significant change would be balance. This leadership program is all about creating strong and courageous, bold leaders. But I've always considered myself as being bold and courageous and strong and so on, but I didn't realize you can be too bold or too strong or too courageous. So I had to find that balance, and this program helped me to find that balance.
It has allowed me to dial back a bit. I'm learning more and more within life that you can't keep going at a breakneck speed, as we would say in the Caribbean. You have to dial back and you have to appreciate what's going on around you. So it's allowed me to find that center and understanding that, listen, I can't say yes, yes all the time because it's to the detriment of myself when I say yes, yes, yes. So I always thought as a leader, you shouldn't say no and you should have all of the answers, and this program has taught me no. I'm human. I can show my vulnerable side and still be a leader.
Going through this program is that I've learned that you have to look at self first before you can actually look at creating a change with others. So I've been examining myself, looking at who am I and what do I need to do to become a better leader. I'm still working on being a courageous leader because I can envision where I want to be. I want to be more confident and assertive, so I'm working on that. So if I can use the tools to actually strengthen my area so that I can benefit the persons that I actually work with.
My most significant change would be that I have delegated a lot more. So I saw the need to allow my staff to develop and grow. Prior to being in CLP, I did not understand that by trying to do everything myself and holding on to all of the work meant that I wasn't providing opportunities for growth. In my mind, I was just trying to get the job done.
The most significant change is the fact that I've become more self-aware. I think that for a long time I had lots of ideas, I had lots of concepts floating around in my head that nobody necessarily told me about. And I think that what CLP did was to put how I was feeling into perspective, and it explained a lot of things and made me feel a little bit more comfortable with these thoughts that I was having.
The most significant change is my listening style. The theme on listening attentively and not responding as soon as you hear a comment. Trying to restrain yourself and listen to see what exactly is the problem, and then engaging the person in conversation.
It helped me to focus more and be more appreciative of the person who I interact with, both professionally and in my personal life. Listening and understanding, and just having a broader appreciation for different perspectives. I found that has really helped in terms of finding solutions or even proposing solutions. People all seem to respond better to when your approach or your response is in tune with what they're thinking. Not in a manipulative sort of way, but in a generally more understanding sort of fashion.
So the first module, then I was equipped with certain tools like the norms and the perspective wheels, etc. So I went back and I started to apply them. And then slowly, in applying them, what I realized is I can now understand the behavioral preferences of my very dynamic team. And understanding these behavioral preferences now, I can apply the strategies I need to glue them together. At first, I wasn't asking for feedback because I thought I was doing everything great and I'm just so perfect, you know. Until I realized that I'm automatically getting feedback, and it's because of the type of leadership I'm applying. I'm more charismatic, you know, I'm more, I'm trying to transform them just to understand that they don't work in a silo. And even though they're level 5s and they're level 7s, each workflow that they actually apply themselves to is so dependent on us working together as a team and achieving our KPIs at the standard that we should.
I have been able to sit back, practice 110% listening, getting a whole grasp of the situation. And I find since I've been doing that, I've been able to make more sound decisions. I'm able to exert a level of empathy where necessary, being assertive where necessary. Therefore, my decisions are better.
The realization of where you are and how do you move from below the line to above the line. And that is one thing that has stood out for me. And I've been able to, whenever I get frustrated, and I realize that I have gone below the line, to step back and make strides in moving back to the above the line point that I should be.
Well, I have to say that the greatest thing that I've done that's different is reaching out to others and trusting others more. Asking for feedback, asking for observations of not just my actions, but how people feel about things. Over the years, I've been very independent and single-minded in terms of some of the decisions I've made. I figure I know it, so I'll do it. But the CLP has encouraged me and taught me that I can trust others to give insightful feedback that would be helpful.
One of the most important things that came out to me is the fact that leadership is a journey, and I shouldn't just embrace each day, take one step at a time, and I will get there.
The most significant change that I have noticed as a result of being in the CLP is the fact that I have allowed persons to share their idea and opinion and listen to their ideas and opinion. It has brought them to be more open towards me, and it has developed the relationship that we had.
I am more appreciative of the differences in the team and also a bit more knowledgeable about the strengths and weaknesses of the members. And also I find that there is a bit more of seeking advice almost on a daily basis, not necessarily on the technical aspects of the job, but in terms of their relationships with each other as well.
The most significant change has occurred with me and how I relate to people, particularly as it relates to having difficult conversations and staying above the line. I think that has impacted me the most. So it's allowing me now to look at the individual and look past the issue actually, and realize that there is something deeper, something underlying that's causing an individual to complain.
What was amazing about this program is that the focus was on me. I was allowed to look at me and the things I would have been doing as a leader that needed to be done differently. I'm aware now that I can use the resources I have. I don't have to be everything to everybody all the time.
Time management. Okay. The structure of the program required that I had to do a lot more on the days when I didn't have CLP sessions in order to be available and completely available for the CLP sessions. It also, in addition to time management, I also had to allow people to do more on their own without me having to supervise.
CLP allowed me, to realize the reality that I was getting stressed a lot because I was getting flustered and frustrated when situations arose, how I responded to it, and I was always trying to be the person to be fixing the problems, and you know, to the point where I saw myself getting sick. So I said, no, this has to change. It means I have to accept, one, that problems will arise, so I can't get everything right. I need to realize what is within my control.
And I found that since I've been a part of CLP, I've learned to think more rationally, to take responsibility for my actions. I realized that integral to being a leader is one of accountability.
As a result of this process, I'm a more deliberate person, more reflective, and not just reflective on my own, but to the point where the process has helped me to slow down and to actually write or journal my thoughts about how things are working and how they're not working. And as I do it for myself, I step back and also reflect on what's happening around me as well.
For me, the most significant change in my leadership behavior from the CLP is that I've been able to strike a balance between my professional and my personal life. Prior to CLP, I used to arrive at work very early and would leave very late, all around 6 o'clock I'm there. Because I would have, I used to think, okay, I have a certain amount of tasks to complete, and if I don't complete it, then the next day it will roll over. And so I'd push a lot to accomplish those tasks.
I would say that the program actually gave me the tools and the confidence to be, as we put the term, a courageous leader in the public service. As you know, leading in the public service is different than leading in the private sector. We have our own peculiarities, very complex, archaic processes, the organizational culture. So I think the program came at an opportune time, at least for me, to give me those tools so that obviously working in this challenging environment I would be prepared.
I feel as if I can take on any challenge that will come my way as a leader now. These tools, though, I realize don't only impact me in the workplace, but it is also something that I can use in my personal life.
What the CLP has done for me is given me a chance to grow and to explore within myself. And because of that, I recognize the need to have difficult conversations. I recognize the importance of listening. I recognize the importance of engaging.
I must say that I now demonstrate a greater sense of belief. I've become far more confident, incidentally. Greater sense of belief in my own ability to effect change in my own organization and to actually lead from the front. Whereas before, I felt that it was always okay to just be in the background, to be comfortable with lending suggestions, but not necessarily own those suggestions.
I recall when I applied to take the CLP course that I wrote on my application, I was not sure if I belonged at the leadership table. I have no doubt now that I have a space and I can go as far as I desire to go. I believe the course has given me the opportunity to build confidence and to drop some of the stories that I had from before. I'm now ready to lead my team, include my team, and chart our way forward with confidence, with no looking back, with no reservations about where I belong and if I should be here. And I believe that my team sees a more measured leader now.